This video is everything you want to know about the Fringe Magpegs. I'm going to be doing a lot of measurements and comparing them to an inexpensive band peg. On the screen are the Fringe Magpegs, the inexpensive band peg, and a 5/8" drill bit for diameter comparison. All the measurements in this video are in the description. Okay, let's start with the Cotter pins. The Cotter pins each weigh 13.5 grams. They have a diameter of 4.4 millimeters, and the outer ring diameter is 42 millimeters. And I will give you a demonstration. So the ring fits over the tip, and then it snaps closed, like so, and then it's secure. So that's a very neat design. Okay, so I don't see myself using the Cotter pins. They seem somewhat redundant. If you're using the Fringe Magpegs and use the Cotter pins, are you using them for peace of mind or for some other reason? Let me know in the comments. On to the Magpegs themselves. So this set of 4 was $99 US, not including shipping. The website says they're 10.125 inches long with a 5/8" diameter. Later on, we're going to see if that's true. The total weight of each peg, not including the Cotter pins, is about 470 grams. So I'll show you that now. So I have the digital weigh scale, and just grab one. And I think it should be, let's see, 471, 472, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, about 470. Okay. And the cool thing is that they unscrew. So you think it's a solid piece, but the head actually unscrews. So you have the head here, and you have this. You might think this is a washer, but this is actually the magnet. So let's put that there, and I'll call this the rod. Okay, so the head. I'll stop that from rolling. Okay, the head is made of aluminum. It weighs 90 grams, and it has a 2-inch diameter, and it is 3/4 inches thick. And I'll put the head here and get the magnet. Okay, so the magnet has a 30 millimeter outer diameter. The inner diameter is 15 millimeters, and it is 3 millimeters thick. And okay, so assuming it's an N35 grade magnet, an online magnet calculator says it can do a static hold of 10.25 pounds when attached to a steel plate. Now, if we assume the highest grade, which is N52, then the calculator says it can do a static hold of 15.2 pounds. And I will show you how the magnet fits in the head. So it just slides in there, and you can see how flush it is. Like that's impressive, and there's very little play. Yeah, so that's a really good sign of quality. And now let's go on to the rod itself. So the rod itself weighs 370 grams. It's made of stainless steel, and 3 out of the 4 rods that I have are slightly ferromagnetic, and one of them is not. I was emailing one of the salesperson at Fringe, and he said the rods themselves should not be magnetic. So I will show you that this is actually magnetic. So there's nothing, it's just the rod, and here's the magnet, and you can see the magnet sticks to the rod. And I will do that for each of them just to show you. I'll just do this really quickly. Okay. And this is, yeah, so this one's also slightly magnetic. And I will do the next one. Is this the one that's not magnetic? It's kind of like Russian roulette. All right. Yeah, this is also magnetic. You can see. Okay. So it must be this one. This one is not magnetic. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, it's just gonna drop. So so sometimes what can happen is stainless steel can actually become magnetized. That's actually what happened to my calipers when I was measuring the size of the magnet. Most people think, or many people think, stainless steel is not magnetic at all, but that's only true for a very specific kind of stainless steel. Okay, so there are all the magnets. Now let's do the diameter. Okay, so they say it's a 5/8 inch. So you can see my calipers are zeroed, and I will get the diameter. So there you can see 15.46. Yeah, 15.46. So that is not 5/8. That would actually be 39/64. And I also emailed the salesperson at Fringe, and he said that that was done intentionally, so that was compatible with many more manufacturers' equipment. Now, I would venture a guess that most people's squat rack holes are oversized. So let me know in the comments if you have a squat rack that has undersized 5/8 inch holes. I would be surprised if they exist. Like really, like a squat rack. Is there a squat rack company out there that's making undersized 5/8 inch holes? Okay. So when assembled, I'll put one back together. When assembled, putting them back together is easy peasy. Okay. So when assembled, the total length is 10.2 inches. And the website says they're 10.125, so they're slightly longer, which I think is actually a good thing. And the usable rod length is 9.25 inches. And what I call the usable rod length is the flat portion of the bar before it rounds off. And if you're using the Cotter pin, which goes in that hole, the usable length becomes 9 inches, and the diameter of that Cotter pin hole is 4.5 millimeters. And as for the threads themselves, okay, so the threads here, it's hard to know for sure. When I measure them with the calipers, it comes out to 13.8 millimeters. So I think these are M. Yeah, let's see if I can get that. Yeah, it's a bit off. Yeah, oh, 13.7, 13.8. So I think these are M14, and I think this is fine threaded. But again, I have no way to test that. That's just a guess. Okay, and for comparison, here's a 5/8 inch drill bit. So a true 5/8 inch would be 15.88 millimeters, and the drill bit's coming in at 15.71. Yeah, 15.71. Okay. Yeah. So nothing's truly 5/8. Okay, and here is the inexpensive band peg. It's chromed. It costs less than $5. And if we do this diameter, okay, so this diameter is I saw 15.68. Yeah. So even this diameter is larger than the Fringe Magpegs. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so this cheap one, this cheap one weighs 500 grams, so it weighs slightly more than the Fringe, which the Fringe were 470. And the total length of the inexpensive band peg is 9.5 inches compared to this one, which was 9.25 inches. So this one has slightly more usable length. Okay. And yeah, so final thoughts. Yeah, so I would have preferred if these were a true 5/8 inch diameter, because the holes in my squat rack are slightly oversized. Also, I find when I am inserting these into the holes in my squat rack, I'm gingerly holding holding the magnet, holding the head back so it doesn't slam into the sides of my squat rack. Anyone familiar with neodymium magnets knows they're prone to fracturing. So to remedy that, I've ordered some rubber washers of different thicknesses. So I've ordered 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, and 3 millimeter thicknesses, and the rubber washers are going to fit over the magnet there. Yeah, sure. I'm going to lose a little bit of magnetic hold, but at least I won't have to worry about the magnets fracturing. And I'll post the results of the once I get the rubber washers, I'll post the results of how they fare. That does it for this video. Take care.